Look at this, we're underwater on this. The J period opened up. Um, we made another mistake. We didn't step away and play our instruments. We're along here from 82.75 underwater. Our stop is below us in the 78, 79 area. I wouldn't be surprised if this market rotates right to the area that I talked about getting long, 79.50. Let the video run here, because if this trade doesn't work, we're definitely going to step away maybe until the last hour, half hour or something, see where the market is. We have positive delta in all the periods, about 11,600, so it's moderately positive bias today. Nothing spectacular. The volume's light on this sell-off over the last 30 minutes or so. Our volume's decreasing as we are going lower, but the New York tick chart is still developing on the second standard deviation below the zero line, below the mean also there. So, that tells me a couple things. It tells me there's a lot of selling pressure in the market, but it's not going any lower. The XLF is sort of staying near where it was. It's not following or diverging from the mini S&P. The mini S&P diverged a bit while the XLF remains strong. So I'm hoping that our 82s here are a good location with rotation back up on the way to retest 90 and possibly on the way to 1400. If not, then obviously the trade was to get short of resistance and fill the gap at 72. That's probably the trade. That's what my gut tells me. But it's obviously too late to enter at 89. It's not too late to enter to reach 72 though. It's just I'm not too sure. If we get a rally up over this position, we might very well consider reversing. Could always reverse on a breakdown under 81 also. Man, oh man, it just makes me sick to see that selling tail of the G period high. And right at 90. We were looking at the New York tick chart. We saw the volume building. Saw a couple other things. And that was it. J period didn't take too long to sell off down here under the I period low by half a point or so. You know what? I'm reversing this trade and our target 72. Short 81.25. Get any musical instrument playing in there either. Our stop is at 86, our target 72. So 86 is just above us. And the gap, of course, is 72. The actual close, 72. Man, oh man, I just can't believe I missed that 89. Jeez. That is on my mind. Well, the K period just opened up and we're heading in the right direction, so we're going to be patient to see if we can get our 72s. Well, I stepped away for a minute. I see the K period got down to 74 and change. So, that is couple points below the C period low. Move this chart into the frame here if I can. That's the C period low is 76.50, 76, 74.50. That's 2.5 points. That's probably not stop running. That's probably just continued momentum. We'll have to keep a close eye. The NYSE tick almost at the second standard deviation above the mean, and it seems that there was not a whole lot of buying accompanied with that move up. So we've had a lot of selling to get down here. So I think the momentum is going to continue. This, if I can get the chart a little lower, I can't get it a little lower. The G period looks like there's a selling tail. There's 3 TPOs, actually more than that because our scale is half point scale. And if that's a selling tail up there right at 90, right below 90, where we missed that selling opportunity, then I think the gap might be a premature exit. This could be a trade where we could swing through the next day or two. And if Globex sells this market off, then our target could be as low as the 1330 area. That gap down in the 1330, 1320 area. So, having said that, I'll have to think about that exit. But I'm more prone at this point to, if this trade continues working down and it gets to the 72 area and doesn't have any kind of buying interest, buying volume coming in, or any divergences, then I think this trade could easily fill in that lower area from the gap from April 1st, and even pause in the 40s or 50s, trade there. I think there's some downside action here, plausibly. So we'll just stand put here. Well, the more I look at the market profile chart over the last several days, even though we broke out over the upper limits of the 20-day distribution, the 30-day distribution, we're back in those. We're back in the past the upper limits of those distributions now. We're back in the main distribution. That's usually a false breakout, just a little range extension with the G period selling tail up there. I think this market could be in trouble over the next day or two. The point of control in the 20-day overlay is all the way down at 1323. That's about the area that we talked about previously, where that gap is. So I'm really, by the way, the L period just opened up. I'm really tempted to hold on to this trade with a target of 1323. That's probably what I'm going to do. We'll see how it acts at the 72. If it doesn't rally more than, I don't know, 6 or 8 points off the 72, then I think we're holding this trade. Well, we got to the 72.75. 72.50 was the gap close. 72.75 is within the gap close range. But I don't see any major buying coming in off the gap. Normally, I'd reverse on a gap close. I think this market's in trouble. I think they got the laggards in up near resistance, and I think that was a great sell. We missed it, but we did get in at 80. I'm tempted to hold this to the mean of the distribution, the mean of the 20-day distribution, which is down in the 1320s. That means if we continue the afternoon trend down and Globex continues in the sell-off, once we break under the 8-period low of April 3rd in the 60s, then we can easily attempt to close the gap down in the 1320s. So we'll see if we can get that far over the next day or two. We'll see how the afternoon shapes up, but that's my overall feeling so far. We're going to move our stop down in this trade to 78.50. Actually, we're going to move it down to 79. That's just half a tick above, half a point above the K period high. 79. I don't see a real big bounce off the gap here. The gap, was filled, the exact close and the range, and this is all we have here. 18,000 volume with a 4,000 positive delta. That doesn't seem very much. If we stall and break down under this, then we're well on our way. Well, we're moving here in the right direction. The little rally was on low volume to the second standard deviation, low volume. And let me see if I can get this into play here. You can see the N period high there, double top with the L period high, and now we're taking out the L period low. So if we continue in this momentum, M period and N period could bring us in a good location for the Globex Open and overnight action potentially, with a stop above the K period high. And I think we're in business. Well, we're grinding away some of our profit. Looks like some of the day traders are probably covering their shorts from the earlier high. And we'll try to stick in here. Our stop is 79, and we'll carry this trade through the Globex if everything continues with a downward pressure here, hopefully. Well, the session closed at 72.25. After some offsetting from some day traders in the M period. I anticipated the M period and the N period actually go lower, but I think our stop at 79 is in a pretty good spot for the Globex session, and we'll see if the Globex can carry on with some selling pressure and get a lower opening tomorrow and a drive down day to fill the gap. That's what we're looking forward to. We'll see if it occurs.